Hi guys, welcome back to my channel today. So thank you very much for being watching and subscribing to my channels. And now there is this sale of the uniforms, which is being a trendy topics nowadays, especially in this week. And I want to share to you guys actually for the free to play out there that what kind of the uniforms that you need to build, what kind of uniform that you need to buy, and which characters that you need to use, and why you need to use that character. So in this video, I want to share to you the 10 best uniform based on the free-to-play player and also based on my experience. So now today I want to go to the my rosters and I want to show you which uniforms that you have to buy. And there are 10 uniform and I would rank from the weakest into the strongest and why those uniforms are really important. So guys, now I want to go to my world boss here, and the 10 uniform that you need to buy is the in accordance to my experience is the Black Widow uniform, guys. So in this case, I want to show you why uniform of the Black Widow is really important. So I want to test out here with the Black Widow, and I want to show you why the Black Widow is really important here. So okay, we have the Black Widow now, and we're gonna switch to her original uniform. And in this video, you can understand why her uniform is really important, and she has to be built first. Once you have the Black Widow, and the Black Widow uniform, newest uniform, which is taken out originally from the end game, is very important. But in this video, I don't have the end game uniform, but I only have the Infinity War uniform, which is the previous one before the end game. But it's quite pretty much helpful. So now here is the weakest state of the Black Widow uniform. As you can see, that her attack is really low, and it's not really great against the Proxima. So now I'm gonna change and try with her newest uniform, and we can understand why her uniform is really important. But in this video, as you can also might see that basically my Black Widow here doesn't have the endgame uniform. She only have the Infinity War uniform. But don't worry guys, with the Infinity War uniform, she quite good enough. And I want to show you that if you have some crystals out there, you haven't purchased any uniform from the Black Widow, I strongly suggest you to buy her endgame uniform. So now let's test it out. So now we gonna, alright. Okay, as you can see that the damage is much more better compared to the original uniform, the Black Widow. And can you imagine if you have the endgame uniform, then her attack with much more also increase. So now that's the character number 10 that I suggest you to build if you are the free to play out there. So now the character number 9 that I want to move further out is not Black Widow, but it's Hulk or Red. And also in this case, in my video, my Hulk somehow is not that great yet because my Hulk is still using the Thor Ragnarok uniform. But let's test him out with the Avengers uniform, which is his basic uniform. So you can now here understand that Hulk is totally need to be built on, even though he has no tier 3 form yet. But Hulk is quite a great character in this game. Especially he can help you to clear out the Shadowland. He can help you to clear out the World Boss Ultimate, especially against the Proxima Midnight. And especially if you combine this character with his newest uniform, which is taken from the Endgame movie, and you also combine him to try to increase his level to the max level, which is level 70, then you can see that this character is really helpful. Okay guys, so we understand that here that his damage is really low, and I want to switch into his Ragnarok uniform. So even though I do not have the endgame uniform at the moment, but the Ragnarok uniform is quite enough for me, and especially at the time where I purchased his Ragnarok uniform, because I want to get the CTP from the the legendary battle. So if you have this Ragnarok uniform and you max out the uniform rank into the mythic level, and then you can get the free CTP from the legendary battle from the Ragnarok movie. So now let's test this uniform out, and yep, this is basically improving his damage compared to the regular uniform. And I strongly recommend you, if you have Hulk, if Hulk is your favorite character, I strongly recommend you to build him into with his newest uniform, which is taken from the end game. So now for the next further characters, the character number 7 that I want to recommend for you guys, I'm sorry, number 8 that I want to recommend for you guys is not other less but Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the strongest speed character here. Why? Because he is basically good enough, and Spider-Man in this case has also can be improved to the tier 3 level. But I want to show you, if you never upgrade your Spider-Man uniform and you just use him with his basic regular uniform, how weak he is, even though my Spider-Man here is only the tier 3 level. So now guys, I want to show to you the Spider-Man, and let's see how good his damage is. And if you actually already built up your Spider-Man really great, then you can use him basically in a lot of mode, like the timeline battle, like also in the the Shadowland, and you can use him also in the World Boss Ultimate and many other level as well. But well guys, as you can see here, his damage is really weak, and it's quite take a lot of time, 18 minutes, I'm sorry, 18 seconds. But now I want to change his uniform into the newest one, which is the cell suit from the Far From Home movie, and we can see that with this uniform my Spider-Man will increase a lot in terms of the physical attack. So now let's try the Spider-Man with the better uniform. And why I test it out in the World Boss Ultimate, because World Boss Ultimate is very useful mode that you need to do it every day, because you have to farm the cosmic cube fragment here and the other like the cars, the stone of the non-stone and everything. Here you have to build your character really good here so that you can farm all of those things that you need to tier. So guys, as you can see, in about 12 seconds I already reduced with the same amount of damage that I had compared to the previous uniform. So that's for the Spider-Man guys. So now for the character number 7 that I want to recommend to you is just swiftly change this to Iron Man. Iron Man is the character number 7. Why? Because he can be improvise or improve into the tier 3 level. And the Iron Man also is really important, because if you have you want to have a particular hero with a high energy damage, then Iron Man is quite recommended in this case, because he is cheap to build, and also Iron Man is basically guys for free, you can get it in the beginning. So now I want to test out the Iron Man without the uniform, I mean like without the newest uniform, but using his original uniform. So we can see here that Iron Man is really weak. Iron Man is really need to be built, and Iron Man is one of the legendary characters that we have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and also in this game Marvel Future Fight. Alright, so as you can see, I already used the 5th skill, the 3rd skill, the 4th skill, and the damage is really low. I know that Proxima is basically much more better if you use the physical characters, but you can also see that my Iron Man is really weak here. Okay, so now it's time to switch and try the new uniform, which is from the Endgame movie. So now we're gonna see and check if our Iron Man uniform is switched into the Endgame uniform, how great he will become. Alright, so now let's test it out. So furthermore, we're gonna talk about the 6th character, which is you also pretty much familiar. I guess you all know about this character as well, and this character is also easy to get in the beginning. You already got him, if I'm not mistaken. I quite forgot because I already played like 1.5 years ago. But these characters after Iron Man that I want to tell you about is easily to farming. You can get his biometric very easily from the Shadowland, from the the story mission as well. So guys, as you can see, compared to the previous uniform, my health is still a lot, and then I can attack Proxima quicker compared to the previous one. So now let's come to the next character that I already mentioned, that I intend to tell you guys, which is now we want to talk about Thor. So guys, now I want to talk about Thor. Thor is one of the strongest Avengers member here that we have, but in this game, if you do not increase your Thor, tier level, and you never also increase your Thor uniform into the best one, then it's really lame and it's really useless. So now I want to use his in his regular state in this uniform, which is from the Avengers uniform, and you can see that my Thor will be very weak, but it's very truly recommended if you build his uniform and use this, you know, the Avenger Endgame uniform. Alright, so now my Thor, alright, as you can see, it's pretty much lame. It's pretty much weak. The 5th skill, the 3rd skill, the 4th skill, all this rotation that I use now is totally useless, and even my Thor got stunned so easily and almost die here. So guys, this Thor is really weak. Alright, so now enough with this. This is totally make me sick. Now I'm gonna change my Thor uniform into the best one that we had in this game already now. And the reason why I put Thor here because he is usable in many mode, and you can also basically use him in the World Boss Ultimate as well against the Ebony Maw. So now let's use Thor with his much better uniform, and you will see his improvement, and we can understand that basically Thor is totally recommended to build because he's free, he's cheap, and much better if you have his newest uniform. Alright guys, so with this attack I gradually increase my level of damage, much more improved compared to the previous one, with the same account, with the same character, but with just a different uniform. You can see a lot of improvement out there. So now after Thor, I want to talk about this famous character, which is very famous, all of you know about him, and we just switched to Captain America. So Captain America is totally recommended in this game to be built, guys, because like Thor and like Iron Man, you get it for free in the beginning, and also Captain America is basically cheap to build. And but if you use his regular uniform, you never buy another uniform, or you never buy his best uniform, then you will see that in this case the Captain America is as weak as the other regular characters out there. So I want to tell you guys, don't miss this moment. This is the best moment that you buy the uniform, except if you want to wait until the around the end of November during the Black Friday day. And during the Black Friday day, the discount is the cheapest among the others event in 1 year, but its event it only occur once in a year, which is in November end. So as you can see, guys, with the Captain America is definitely one of the best character to defeat Proxima. But as you can see, the damage is really low, and now I want to change the Captain America uniform into one of the best that I have now, which is from the Endgame movie, and we will see, guys, how good he is at this moment. So let's start it out and check it out if our Endgame uniform is totally improved our Captain America state or not, guys. So let's try. Okay, so now we are going to check. Wait a minute, I have to turn off a clock that I set. Alright, so now with this, alright guys, so as I mentioned to you, this damage is really huge now, and well, that's why I put Captain America on the list as the list number 5, because Captain America is totally worth to build and he's really good. So now I want to put somebody else which is also recommended here, guys. After Captain America, we want to talk about the Captain Marvel. So I put Captain Marvel on the 4th list because if Captain Marvel you don't build, and it's totally not I just truly recommend you to build his character, because you can tier 3 her now, and with this with her newest uniform at this moment, she is really good. But now I want to show you with her regular uniform, she is really weak, and basically her attack is energy attack, so it won't do that much damage against the Proxima. But you can do her against the Ebony Maw, you can do her also for the Carved Slave, you can do her also for the Cold Obsidian. So now we will see that her damage is not that great compared to her uniform that I will set. Alright, the damage is really low, it takes a long time, it's gonna bore me. Alright, so now I'm gonna switch her uniform into the newest one, which is taken from the Avengers Endgame, guys. So now we'll see about it, and well, let's check it out. Alright, so now we're gonna switch the uniform into the Marvel's Avengers Endgame, and then we're gonna talk about the damage that you can produce here. It's totally improved. So this is the fourth character, guys, the Captain Marvel. So please watch the video since the beginning so that you can understand which character that you can improve, especially if you are free-to-play player out there. And I want to tell you guys, watch until the end, and then you can learn about the 3 other characters, which is very useful, especially for you, the free-to-play characters out there. And even if you are not a free-to-play characters out there, but you still do not have the uniform for all of these 10 characters that I recommend in this video, then please use is based on your necessity, based on your needs, and then you can understand why these characters are really great, and based on my experience is totally better. So now after Captain Marvel, I want to talk about the character which is, I guess you already know, and well, Ronin, guys. Hawkeye, aka Hawkeye, is really important character here, and I want to talk why he is really important, because even though you cannot tier 3 him yet, but basically, guys, Hawkeye is a very weak character in this game. A very weak character if you never build him properly, if you never buy a correct uniform, then Hawkeye is really weak. And I want to show you here how weak he is without his Ronin uniform. Alright, so now we're gonna change into the third best characters, which is Hawkeye, and we're gonna show you. Alright, okay, the damage is really weak, it's not that much, and he can be killed pretty much easily against even the stage 1s of the Proxima Midnight here. Alright, that's enough. So now we're gonna change the Hawkeye uniform with something the best that he has at this moment. So now we're gonna change. Where are you? Alright, so there you are. I'm gonna put the Ronin uniform from the Endgame movie here, and you can see how different he progressed here. So now this is my Hawkeye, which is still level 60, not level 70 yet, but already good enough to do the Proxima Midnight because of this newest uniform that I have now. Alright, so now as you can see, the damage is really great, and everything here is much more really amazing. And again, in order to defeat the Proxima. So now I want to switch to the next characters that I really recommend you to buy, guys. I mean his uniform, which is none other else but the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is really recommended to build. He's one of the best characters in this game, but without his uniform, he's really weak. And I want to show you why this character is really weak without his uniform. And as you can see here, his physical attack is really low, and everything is really bad. He can be killed so easily, and his critical damage is really also not that great. But with his Infinity War uniform, you can see later on that his damage is really beast. Okay, now, so as you can see, his skill doesn't give a lot much of physical attack here, and everything here is very much weak. And okay, my Winter Soldier here can be killed easily. So this is the runner-up here, but still not the best without the uniform. So I want to say to you guys one more time that uniform is really a critical important things in this game, as long as you want to build your character properly and choose the right uniform. Otherwise you're gonna just spend your resource for nothing. But if you're a whale, then it's up to you. If you have a lot of money, a lot of cash, a lot of crystals you want to spend on, it's up to you. So now I want to show you with his Infinity War uniform how it's really great and wonderful my Winter Soldier here. So now I'm gonna use the 5th skill first because it's kind of like protect me, and then if I use his the 3rd skill, and then after then the 5th skill. Oh yeah, as you can see, the 5th skill is really beast here, and normally if you combine with the 4th skill as well, or the third skill is really great. So now guys, after we talk about 9 characters already that I strongly recommend you guys, so now I want to come up with the character number 1, which is I strongly recommend for all of you guys, which is Sharon Rogers. Sharon Rogers in this case is really important because based on my experience, because Sharon Rogers is really great, and I really like Sharon Rogers because she's really nice, designed by the Netmarble here. And then the Sharon Rogers also is quite great because it's like the version of the female Captain America. But in this case, I want to show you the Sharon Rogers without her newest uniform is quite good already. It's quite good already, guys. But she is really weak if you want to use her on the other mode. And basically, Sharon Rogers is great in many modes except for the timeline battle. She's not that good in the timeline battle. With or without uniform, she is not that good, but as you can see, this without uniform in the World Boss Ultimate Stage 1, her damage is quite great already. But now, if I change her into the better uniform, then you can see that she's really nice. And guys, the reason why you have to buy her uniform, especially if you already tier 3 her, because you can use her in the giant boss raid against the Galactus as well. So she's pretty much good against the Galactus, she's pretty much good against the Master Mold, especially if you proper build her and you can play it right. And then you can solo those 2 modes with these best characters. So guys, as you can see, she's a beast, alright? I almost killed Proxima Midnight here just by using her quickly. So guys, I will kill her because this is the end of the characters that I want to test out today. And we have 10 characters already in this video. Very recommended. I strongly suggest you to build all of these characters. I strongly suggest you to purchase their best uniform in this game. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give your subscribe, give your likes, and also share this video to help many players out there which is still confused which uniform they have to buy, especially if they are free to play players. Thank you guys. Have a good day and enjoy your time. Bye bye.